Breaking news, you can be even more kissable than you are right now with Lolo Lips by Barmaids. The makers of the exquisite Lolo Bar has one of the best lip balms available. Some lip balms can cause your skin to dry out if you stop using them, or if you lose them. And let's face it, we all lose them. This product doesn't force you to reapply in order to maintain the healthy, balanced levels of moisture ideal for beautiful lips. It comes in 8 tasty flavors with no paraffins, no fillers, no dyes, just natural lip moisturizer that has everything your lips want and nothing they don't. I dare anyone to try it and not feel like an addict. Kiss me, Lolo, I'm in love.
Hi, and welcome to Knitting Blooms. Today is Saturday, May 18th. This is episode number 106. My name is Tina, also known as Bloomingknitter, and welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so glad you've decided to take some time and join me today. I enjoy talking to you guys, and I have a bit to share with you today, but not too much, so it might be a shorter episode again. I did record the I-cord tutorial earlier today, so that will be included in the show. I have a little bit of insight as to what I've been doing this week, and I will share the progress on 2 projects that I've been working on this week, as well as a finished spinning project. So let's jump right into what I've been doing this week. I have been so bad. I have been playing Sims non-stop since last week. I think I said last week after I recorded I was going to play some Sims, and I did that, and I have been hopelessly addicted all week. There's been a couple of things that have made this happen, and one of the things is that I used to play the game online, and what that did for me is I was able to buy things when I was online. However, I never did that. They have a store, a Sims store, that you can buy new objects. But I never did that when I was in game play. And I recently found out from another Ravelryer who also plays Sims that when you play online, when you're connected, logged in, the online portion of it takes up tons of resources on your computer. And what was happening to me before was I would get playing, and I would play for, 45 minutes to an hour, and my game would crash. And I would get so frustrated that I'd lose all that information. Well, then I started saving it every 15 to 20 minutes, and then that got old, and finally I would just give up. Eventually I would get to like the 2nd generation, and things would be so corrupted that I couldn't even play the game. And I'd have to start a whole new family, so I'd lose all of what I had done. So I've been playing offline, and that seems to be working well. Now I'm in the 2nd generation, but the 2nd generation is still young. So I'm still trying to see how it's going to all work out, but I'm having a whole lot of fun with it. Plus, what I'm also doing is I'm clearing my cache after every time I turn the game off, so that it starts fresh. So I have been really crazily addicted to that. And I can't really play on the weekends too much, because once I record, my computer is tied up, down or importing from the camera and then converting and all this other stuff. And so pretty much after I record, for several hours after I record, I can't play or do anything on my computer, so I try and get all that stuff in beforehand, and then I can play after it's all done. So that's one of the main things that has been keeping me occupied. I have been doing a little bit of knitting while I've been playing Sims, but not a huge amount, so I don't have major progress to show you today, but I do have some progress to show you on 2 projects that I've been working on. The other thing that I did today, which really only took up my time today, and basically last night, is I've been doing some work out in the yard. I know I should be doing the bedroom, but I needed to get the stuff out of the gazebo. I love to sit out in the gazebo or on the deck in the evening after work sometimes, and I can't do that if everything's still packed up and piled into the gazebo. So last night I convinced Steve that we should unload the gazebo. And so that's what we did. We unloaded the gazebo and put the furniture out and all of that. And then I wiped down the tables and all of that, so it's all ready to be able to be outside and enjoying the furniture. So we did that last night, and then after we did that, I was looking at the garden, and the garden was looking horrible. Now, I have a garden in the back that has all perennials, so I don't have to do any work to it other than weed it. And last year we really needed to get more mulch, and I just put it off, and then it was winter and never got the mulch. Well, this year we definitely need to get mulch, and the weeds were just running rampant. So this morning I got out there and got all the weeds out of the garden, and all the grass. I don't know how we got so much grass growing in there. I guess because it used to be grass before it was a garden. I don't know. Anyway, got all the grass out, tore everything out, not the perennials, but all the weeds. And that's all looking nice, but we still need to get that mulch. So when I'm done recording here, Steve and I are going to go to Home Depot and get some mulch. And we're thinking about getting that rubber mulch, and hopefully that'll last a little bit longer than just regular bark mulch or whatever. We're going to look at it and see, but more than likely we're probably going to get the rubber mulch. I just think it'll be easier to upkeep. I could be totally wrong and be making the wrong decision, but we'll see. I'll look at it when we get to the Home Depot. So, and then the garden will be all set, and it'll look nice, and I can go out there on the back porch and just enjoy it. So that is going to be really nice. I like to go out on Saturday and Sunday morning and sit in the gazebo or on the back porch with my cup of coffee and my Kindle and just read and relax and enjoy the quiet neighborhood. So I'm going to really enjoy that this summer. And this week I have the potential to get a lot of knitting done, I'm hoping, because I have jury duty. I have never had jury duty before, so I have no idea what to expect. But when I called in yesterday, I had to call in on Friday or the day before, and because I'm scheduled for Monday, I had to call in on Friday or anytime during the weekend. I was listening to the message, and it was saying how you can't have a cell phone and all this other stuff, so I can't take my cell phone in there with me. We can't take a cell phone that has picture capabilities or recording capabilities. So that I can't take, but I'm really hopeful that I'll be able to take my knitting and my Kindle. So if I can't take my knitting, hopefully I'll still be able to take the Kindle, but I'm hoping that I can take the knitting as well, because that would really help me pass the time. So I don't know. I have no idea what to expect, because like I said, I have never been called to jury duty before, so it'll be an adventure. So before I get into my projects for this week, I am going to do the prizes for the Potiversary. Now, I have to apologize to everybody who's contacted me, who's won a prize in the last couple of weeks. I have been remiss, and I have not sent those prizes out yet. Yesterday, I did finally print up the labels and got that ready, but the prizes have not been shipped. So my goal is tomorrow, after I lay the mulch, because I'm not doing that tonight. My goal is to package everything up with all the little goodies that go with the prizes, and label them along with the ones who haven't contacted me yet. Put information on there so I know what's what, and then ship out the people who've contacted me, and have the other ones that haven't contacted me ready to go. So all I have to do is slap the label on them once somebody contacts me and tells me that they won. So, sorry about that. If you have contacted me in the last I think it's just been 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks, but it's been 3 weeks ago from prizes, but it's only been contacted in the last 2 weeks. Anyway, usually I don't do that. Usually I get things shipped out right away, but getting back from Knitopia has been crazy, and then now I've been just totally addicted to The Sims and haven't really done much of anything else. So, I have 2 new prizes. The first prize is another set of the Donna Dracunis books, and this is the Discovery and the Exploration. The Discovery is ethnic knitting in the Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, and the Andes, and Exploration is ethnic knitting in Lithuania, Iceland, and Ireland. Now, I started to read this book. I think I'm on chapter 2. So far, it's very informative. The only thing that I wish is that this book came on Kindle. I've already checked, and this book does come on Kindle, and I have put it on my wish list. I just wish this one did also, because I love reading books on my Kindle so much better than reading them with a real copy. And that's the only thing that's drawing me back from reading this. I think I was reading it one Saturday evening. I was sitting down here in the basement, and the books are down here. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel like going to bed yet. I'm going to read for a bit. So I read the first chapter. But I haven't read anything further because I just haven't been down here reading. But the information in the first chapter was excellent. And I do plan on reading the rest of the book at some point. And I just need to pick it back up again. But I do wish that it came in Kindle. So, the winner of these 2 books, both of these books, is number 149, and that's Lady M. And I'm probably going to butcher this, but I'm going to try. And I think her name is Marshila. And Marshila, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She wanted to see a tutorial on cabling without a cable needle. And guess what? Already did that one. So go check out the blog and check out that video if you're interested in seeing that. I'm pretty sure that one is already up. And I think last time, now that I think about it, I think last time I said I would verify that the links were in the blog, and I didn't do that. So I really need to make a note to do that. In fact, when I do the show notes for today, I will try and remember to check that. So, Lady M, get in contact with me and I will ship out your books to you. These are fabulous, fabulous books. I think that you'll really enjoy them. And go check out the tutorial on cabling without a cable needle. The next prize is a project kit. It is for a silky honeycomb scarf, and it comes with the pattern as well as the materials to make the pattern. And it's 2 scarves, 1 pattern. So there's a silky honeycomb scarf. It says 2 patterns, 2 scarves, 1 pattern, but I'm not exactly sure how that works. I think it must be how you do the edging. Anyway, it's a project kit, and that goes to number 172, Cavalier Mama, and that's Lauren. And Lauren asked to see a tutorial on kettle or tonal dyeing, and I did that also, but I do not think that it's posted as a separate tutorial yet. I have to double check that. When I was away at Knitopia, I posted a couple of the tutorials that I had already done, but I don't know if that was one of them. And if it wasn't, then it will be posted as a separate tutorial soon. However, if you really want to watch it soon or now, you can check back through the show notes. And I usually in the top on the blog when I put the show notes in, or even on iTunes and Downcast when you look at the podcast, in the notes I usually put the tutorial, which tutorial that I have in that video. So you can check out that way, or you can check on the blog and go to my tutorials page. I want to say that was posted, but I'm not 100% sure. So go check those out and just get in contact with me, both of you, and I will get these prizes in the mail. Like I said, my plan is to package them up, get them in the envelopes and ready to go, and have them ready so that when I'm contacted, I can ship them right out. Okay, so let's talk about my projects. Today I'm going to tell you about vanadium. I have done a little bit of progress on this. Earlier this week I went to Knit Club and I worked on this for a few hours, and I think I worked on this one night this week as well. Typically I haven't been taking this project to work with me. I've been taking the Coraline to work with me, so this has only seen progress outside of work. But like I said, I took it to Knit Night with me the other night and worked on it for a couple hours at home. And I got a little bit of progress on it. I have a red stitch marker on here, so you probably can't see that very well. But the stitch marker is right there, and I have that much done. I would say about 10 rows or so. It doesn't seem like a lot, but these are long rows because we're working on the whole yoke of the sweater. So it's coming right along. I really like the detail on here, the garter stitch detail on the edges. It's just very fun. I'm using CJ Kopek's Integrity base. She custom dyed this for me, and I love the colorway. It's turning out awesome. And I am knitting this on a smaller needle than what the pattern calls for and at a smaller gauge. I'm actually knitting the size 44, but it's a gauge that will produce like a 36 sweater. So I'm hoping it's all going to work out when it's all said and done. This is the first time that I've just done this, so we'll see. So that's coming right along. Slow progress. I'm probably going to take the Coraline with me to jury duty because that is all stockinette. And this has this garter edge, and because I can't take my phone or my iPad, I don't want to have to deal with a pattern. So I think with the Coraline, I will only have stockinette and won't have to worry about it. So this is coming right along, and if I have to spend too much time at jury duty, I can't see much of this project getting done this week. And then we have Coraline. Last week I had one finished sleeve, and this week I have 2 finished sleeves. This is where I was last week on this sleeve, and I finished that off, and I have it on waste yarn. In fact, I looked at my notes, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I put the wrong number of rows that I needed on my notes, and I ended up knitting like 3 extra rows. Luckily, I caught it because I kept looking at it thinking, this is getting awfully long, and I should be done. And sure enough, I had already passed where I was supposed to be by 3 rows. So I just ripped back and put it on waste yarn. And like I said, I don't know what I did with my notes. I think I might have been counting, when I was counting on the one that I was working on, I was counting from the hem up, and I think I might have been counting when I put my notes in, counting from the cast on up. So that's probably what screwed me up. But I do have 2 finished sleeves. They are done, and they're ready to wait for the body, which is all stockinette. And this week, I did cast on the body. I've made a tiny bit of progress. I have the hem done, and I've made some progress on the rows. Now I did most of these rows after the hem last night because I did the hem at work yesterday, and then I worked on this last night and this morning when I was playing Sims. Now, the way that this edging is done is kind of like an I-cord, but what it's doing is I think it's creating an edge so that it doesn't roll back on itself this way. Stockinette has a tendency to roll back on itself on the front side. And the way that this edge is done, and I'm not going to reveal how the edge is done because it is a paid-for pattern, but the way that it's done, it makes the edge so that it doesn't roll back on itself, and it's very interesting. But what it's doing is it's kind of creating, I don't know if it's gonna pull up on that seam or what, but I'm not exactly sure if I like it yet. I think I need to get a little bit more of it done before I really decide, but I feel like if you look, you see this kind of comes up a little bit here. I'm not sure that I like that. Now, I probably could have fixed that if I had thought about it ahead of time, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. If it pulls up a tiny bit on the bottom of the sweater, I don't think it's going to be that noticeable actually. But I'm going to just play it by ear. I'm trying to keep those stitches on the edge a little looser so that it doesn't pull up as much. But we'll see how it goes. I am alternating skeins again because I am using the yarn that I tonal dyed a few weeks ago before I went to Knitopia. And this is actually, it was silky wool before it was kettle dyed, and now it's kettle dyed, and this is what it looked like before. So there's a bit of a difference. This is more tonal and variegated and a little darker. I like it so much better, and I am so encouraged to continue to try different kettle dyeings with colorways that maybe not my perfect color. I love it, and the way that it knit up is just absolutely gorgeous. I know the blues and purples don't show up on the camera as well, but I really hope that you're getting to see how awesome this looks. I'm just impressed with myself, if I don't say so. I love it. And I love how the body is working up as well. I am knitting this on a smaller needle than it required, but that's what I needed to get gauge. I was getting gauge. I haven't checked gauge since I did this part of the body, but I'm pretty sure I'm still right on track. I was getting gauge when I was doing the sleeve, and the body looks about the same. So it's coming along. I did have to go up a needle size to do the sleeve because it was in the round, but I did go back down to the needle size that I was getting gauge in with my swatch when I was knitting flat because the body is knit flat. So like I said, this project is going to go with me to jury duty this week, and I may or may not get a lot of work done on it depending on if they let me bring it into the courthouse and if I'm selected for jury duty. Now, I don't know if I can knit if I'm on a jury, if I can knit while I'm in the jury box. Probably not, but I don't know. But I'm going to take my knitting and knit at any possible moment that I can. The other thing about being on jury duty, though, also, is that I probably am going to have to take my lunch, and I'm used to having a kitchen and a refrigerator and stuff that I can just grab and go whenever I want. And that's going to be hard for me to go and have to prepare my lunch and have it in a cooler or something. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but it's going to be difficult. I might have to just mix up some tuna and put it in a cooler and then keep it in my car or something. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what to expect. I'm sure that they give you a break for lunch, but I don't know how it works. Anyway, those are my knitting projects this week. I have not worked on the infinity scarf at all. I think, no, I didn't work on the socks at all. I think I haven't shown you the socks since I came back from Knittopia, and I think I have a little bit of progress on those, my basic socks that I used for the sock tutorial. But mostly I've been working on these two projects, the Coraline at work and the Vanadium at home. So that's my progress on my knitting. And now for spinning. Last week I told you that I had started Navajo plying the wool gatherings, and I finished it, although it's still on the Nitty Notty. I'm going to show it to you on the Nitty Notty because it's just easier. I just put it on the Nitty Notty this morning, and I love it. I am really liking the Navajo ply. I don't know what it is about it. I think because it keeps the colors together, but like with something like this, it kind of, I don't know if I probably should have taken it off the Nitty Notty, but I only have 2 ties in it right now. I guess I could take it off real quick. I'll just have to put more ties in it later because it definitely does not have enough ties for soaking. But let me just give it a quick twist so you can see it. But I really love it. I really love the Navajo ply because it keeps the colors together and it's the 3-ply. So I think that I just really love the 3-ply. It is just my favorite way, or my favorite way to do the yarn. The 2-ply is okay, but the 3-ply just looks so much nicer to me. And because the colors are more together, I mean, you do see some sections that have a variegated color, but that's because the fiber was kind of variegated. But I just really like it. I really, really do. And I could see me just Navajo plying absolutely everything. I have no idea what my yardage is on this yet. I know that it's less yardage than I would get if I did a 2-ply, but I'm okay with that because if I like the yarn so much better as a 3-ply, then I'll find something to make with it with 3-plies. I mean with the lesser of the yardage. But I really love it. This was Wool Gatherings BFL, and she does not name her colorways, so I have no idea, but it's some deep burgundies and some golds and a little bit, just a splash of pink where the burgundy might have bled a little bit into like a whiter area. It's just gorgeous. I can't wait to knit it up. I love it. And now I have to decide what I'm going to put on the wheel next. This came off of the e-spinner, or the Hanson Mini Spinner, and right now on the Hanson Mini Spinner is my Fiber Nymph Polworth Silk, the semi-solid colorway from Knittopia. That will be on the Mini Spinner for quite some time, unless I get really bored with it and want to pull it off. But I would like to start something new on the Ladybug. I just haven't decided what that's going to be yet. Something. I just don't know yet. So that's my spinning. Oh, and I have been working a little bit, just a little bit, on the Into the World Polworth Silk, the one with the blue and the multi and the green. I did work a little bit on the blue yesterday at work. That's it. That's it this week. But I did want to put some time in on that. I think I did about a half hour of spinning on that at the office yesterday. But I have not worked too much on that because I've been playing Sims all day at work. When I have my free time, that's what I've been doing. So, not too much spinning, but it's coming along. So here is where I will put the tutorial for the I-cord border for the sock yarn blanket. I do show you how to connect the I-cord. You do start with a provisional cast on, and then you go from there. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial on the I-cord border. In this tutorial, I will show you how to attach a knitted on I-cord border. And I'm using the sock yarn squares that I had knitted for the sock yarn tutorial, sock yarn blanket tutorial. Now these are not made with sock yarn, these are made with worsted weight, but that's only because it's a little larger gauge and it's easier to show you. But it's the same concept to knit the squares and create a hodgepodge blanket with leftover sock yarn. The first thing you want to do is pick up your stitches along the provisional cast on edge. And how you do that is that you just follow where your waste yarn has gone through these bottom loops. And I've already done that here. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you pick up every stitch, every loop where the waste yarn was. And you may find that some stitches have gone back down in because they've gotten a little tight. You just need to pull that waste yarn up so that you can pick up those stitches. And you want to do that all the way across. Now, when you're working on your blanket, you definitely won't be able to pick up all the stitches unless you're doing small bits at a time. And in this case, I only have 2 squares at the bottom of this area, so I can pick up all those stitches. But maybe you only want to pick up 1 square at a time, or maybe 2 squares at a time, depending on how much I-cord you want to do. You can always leave the I-cord on some scrap yarn if you want to stop at a certain point and then come back to it later. But which is what I did on my sock yarn blanket. So anyway, you're going to pick up all your stitches that you want to be working with for your border. And once you do that, you can take out the waste yarn. It gives you a little bit more room to work with your stitches, and so it's not so cumbersome. So you can take that all out. So then you have your stitches. The next thing you want to do is cast on an I-cord. Now I have used a scrap piece of green here, and I just knit a length. Now what this does for me is it gives me basically a provisional cast on, because I'm not going to use this green when I am ready to join my the ends of my border. When I get to the very end and I'm done with my blanket, I can pick up those stitches and join them with a Kitchener stitch, which I will show in a future episode. But for today, you just need to start with a length of I-cord with a waste yarn, and I just do a little bit of a length just so I have something to hang on to, and it gives me some stability. And then you join your actual border color with the waste yarn with 1 row. And once you do that, then you are ready to begin doing the border. Now, you will notice here with this piece, I have the right sides facing me, and you always want to work with your right side facing of your sock yarn blanket. You'll see on the other side, this is the wrong side, and you'll see where I've picked up the stitches here. You can see that. So that's the wrong side. Now, you might like that side as the right side, so you just have to decide which side you want to be the right side. So once you have your stitches picked up on your blanket portion and a decent swatch or a length of I-cord, you're ready to go ahead and begin with the I-cord border. And how you're going to do that is first let me show you quickly, if you have never seen an I-cord and you're not quite sure how the I-cord works. An I-cord is just knitting across, pulling it slightly, and then pushing it back over. So you're never turning your work. So again, you're knitting across, and I just like to give it that little tug just so it pulls it together. And what it does is it joins everything in the back side, so it pulls those stitches together. And again, you just pull it across. Just like that. So once you have your I-cord and you're ready to begin, you're going to start with the right side facing you, and you're going to I'm going to go ahead and slip these stitches onto this needle and work with the double point. So you're going to go ahead and knit the first 2 stitches. Now maybe you have a 4-stitch I-cord, then you would knit the first 3 stitches. Always the last stitch of your I-cord is going to be knit 2 together with the next stitch on your blanket. And then you're going to slip those stitches back over to that needle, and then you're going to knit them again. Knit 2, and then knit 2 together. Just like that. Slip them back over, knit 2, and knit 2 together. Now the knit 2 together is joining that I-cord onto the edge of the blanket. Then you'll slip them back, and you can slip them in one fell swoop if that works better for you. And then you knit 2, and you knit 2 together. Slip them back, knit 2, and knit 2 together. And each time I do this knit 2 together, I am joining 1 stitch from the I-cord and 1 stitch from the blanket together so that the I-cord stays attached to the blanket. I'll show you one more time. Just like that. So I went ahead and finished putting the border on these stitches that I had held. I'm going to show you just a couple more times how this works, and then I'll show you what to do with your stitches once you're done for the day, or once you're done working with your I-cord and you want to go back to doing squares. So again, you're going to knit 2 or knit the first few stitches of your I-cord. You may have 4 stitches. Depends. You're going to knit 2 together, 1 with your I-cord and 1 with the blanket, and then you're going to slide those stitches back onto your working needle, and then you're going to knit 2 and knit 2 together. So I've run out of stitches here, and now I'm ready to end working with my I-cord. However, I don't want to cast off because eventually I'm going to add some more squares, and I'm going to need to pick up stitches and work up from there. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and just take some waste yarn and thread it through my stitches here, and then I can tie off the waste yarn, and when I'm ready to work with I-cord again, then I have those live stitches right there ready to go, and then I can move forward with working them. So I'll just tie off my waste yarn, and then I'll just leave that waste yarn in those 3 stitches so that they're ready to go when I'm ready to add additional I-cord onto my border. And that's adding the I-cord to your sock yarn blanket. Again, in a future tutorial, I will show you how to join at the other end. But for now, you have the basics on how to make your sock yarn blanket. So enjoy it. And that's all I've got for you this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And today, it's like, I don't know, it's goal. My watch tells me I've reached my goal when I get to not my calorie burn, but anyway. It's like 4:30 now, so like I said, Steve and I are going to go grab a bite to eat, then go to Home Depot. We're going to get mulch. We're going to get the paint so I can start painting the bedroom next weekend, hopefully. He has to do something on the floor before I can paint, but hopefully I will be able to start painting next weekend, and then we can get the closet built. I still need to map out the closet plans, and what I want to do is tape off the area where I want the closet built so we can kind of have at least the week to kind of see if that's what we want, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks we will start building the closet. And I don't think that it should take that long to build once we get started on it, but it's just, we've been dragging our feet, and it's just plain ridiculous. Oh, you want to be on the podcast today? Come over here. Come up here. Come on. Come on. We'll jump. Come on. Here's Crystal. Yes. So Crystal says, happy weekend. And I will talk to you guys next week. So, bye for now.